If you're in your 30s, your 40s, or your 50s, and you're into the outdoors, and you're probably starting to notice around about now that your knees are getting sore, you're out of breath more often, things are just harder. And being the last person to the top of the hill, out of breath, it can be embarrassing, right? And it starts to affect your confidence, I think, more than anything. And it's very, very easy to kind of blame your knees, your age, things like that. And although they do have a part to play in that, I think the main thing that you should be thinking about is your work capacity, right? So your work capacity is just your body's ability or your mind's ability to tolerate stress, right? So when you're outdoors, when you're exercising, when you're active, it's just stress, right? So whether you're running up a hill or lifting weights, whatever it is, it's stress on your body. And if you're not able to tolerate that effectively, it means you're going to be puffing and panting, or or something's going to be sore. So I think kind of changing how we think about injuries and age and stuff like that can be like there's something that you can do. I think it's dead easy to almost just blame it on something that's out of your control, like your age, or maybe an injury to some degree. But there is ways of getting stronger. Just go into any gym and you'll see old people lifting weights. Like it's very inspiring, I think, because even though they're getting older, they're still interested in growing. They're still interested in can't speak, in increasing their ability to tolerate stress. How cool is that, right? So how can you improve your work capacity so that you can get more out of the outdoors or maybe even live longer? Well, it's quite simple. It's like doing that, like training that specifically, and it's going to the gym, it's doing strength training and some kind of cardiovascular training. It's kind of just as simple as that. There isn't like one answer to suit everyone, but that's what I would start doing. If you're not going to the gym, if you don't already go to a gym, or even just train in your house, lifting weights, stuff like that, even just body weight training to start off with, start doing that, because you're going to increase your body's ability to tolerate stress. So you're going to get more out of the outdoors. You're going to be less sore, less fatigued. You're going to recover faster in between, hikes and stuff like that. So that's what I would do, is start with basic exercises: squats, lunges, deadlifts, push and pull, upper body, core exercises, right? It doesn't have to be anything complicated. It can just be the basics. You can, as I said, you can just start with body weight before you progress to the gym if you want. So that's what I would do. Get your muscles and your joints stronger, because you can do more. And then the second thing is increasing how strong your heart is. You're going to get more out of the outdoors, you're going to be less out of breath, and you're going to be able to recover faster as well. So it's quite simple, right? So maybe you go to the gym 3 times a week, you lift weights for 40 minutes, and then you do some cardio for 20 minutes. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be like some new revolutionary way of training. It can be very simple. So I think by doing those two things, you can really, like, not only are you going to get more out of the outdoors, you're going to be not the last one to the top of the mountain, for example, or you're going to be not embarrassed because you're so out of breath, or maybe you need someone to help you up and stuff like that. You're more independent, but also like you're going to enjoy the outdoors more. But then on the other hand, you're probably going to live longer, because your body can do more. Like, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to live longer, but like if your heart is stronger and your muscles and your joints are stronger, you're just more resilient. These things are well proven, strength training and cardiovascular training, to prolong the length of your life. And for like 3 hours a week, it's quite a good investment, I think. So the other perspective of this that I want to talk about is the reason I go to the gym. There's many reasons, and it's I want to look good, right, for myself, for my partner, and I want to feel confident. Being resilient and capable makes you feel confident. But I also want to do all of the sports and the outdoors and stuff like that. I want to be active late in life. I want to be as active for as long as possible, because you only get one life. Like, why wouldn't you want to enjoy it? When you get older, there's plenty of time to sit and watch TV. But see, right now, like, if you finish work and then you just sit and watch the TV, like, there's a reason why you don't have any energy. Like, go to the gym, it's going to give you energy, and then think about in 20 or 30 years time, when everyone else is in care homes and they can't do anything, and you're out walking, or you're going on holidays to the Alps and going on little hikes with your grandkids. Like, imagine how amazing that would be. That, like, prolonging how active you are in your life. You're getting more out of life, but also you're like passing it on to your grandkids and your kids and everyone else around you. You're showing them like this is possible. You can live, you can be as active as me later in life, and it's because you made the investment now. Whether you're in your 50s or your 60s, you've still got plenty of life left. And I know that might sound I know that might sound a bit naive coming from someone who's only 32, but when you get your 30s, you start noticing like these things creeping in, like injuries, age, getting a bit more tired. Don't recover as fast as you used to when you were 20. And I'd imagine it only gets worse, if you don't address it. So that's like, even though I'm only 32, that's what I'm thinking. And when I'm 60, 30 years time, I want to be just as active as I am now. Probably won't be, but I'm going to try, right? I'm going to make the investment now so that in later life I can be active and I can, go out and play with my grandkids, take my grandkids up a hike and not be getting phoned for mountain rescue. So, and it's also things like, if you're older and you fall, you can actually just get up and walk away rather than like your bones are so brittle because they've never been exposed to stress. It's all of these things is work capacity. It's your ability to be capable of working more. Like, who doesn't want that? I think everyone knows that, you think back like cavemen and stuff like that, they were like able to do loads of stuff. It's just because they were always doing loads of stuff. Nowadays, we work at a desk. We're not as active, we're not as adventurous as we once were as human beings, but going to the gym is such an easy way. Like, there was a study, I'm not going to find it because I've got 10 followers on here, so it's not worth the effort. But there's a study. If someone wants me to find it, I will find it. But there was a study, and it was how strong people got, or the improvement in people's lives from doing 60 minutes of strength training once per week, and it was crazy. Like, as a personal trainer, I would never recommend just a 1 hour of training per week. But this study showed that it's better than doing nothing. It's better than sitting on your arse. You can still make a lot of gains. Not if you're a professional athlete, you need more. You're a stimulus. The stimulus needs to be higher because you're at a higher level. But if you're sitting on the couch right now and you never train, like there's a lot of low hanging fruit. You get newbie gains. All the gains that you make when you're a new person at a certain thing. Strength training, that's definitely something. So your first year of training, you can basically, your first 6 months of training, you change your life just by going to the gym once or twice a week. It's incredible. So it's such a good investment. So that's it. Go to the gym, become a stronger, more resilient person. You're going to live longer. You're going to get more out of the outdoors. And that's it.